Our conversation about coronavirus. As the disease continues to spread across the world, it's become a huge health concern, of course, but we're also starting to see some effects on the global economy. So joining us to talk about the financial impacts of coronavirus is the president and CEO of Burns Estate Planning and Wealth Advisors, Ernie Burns. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
So Ernie, I want to ask, how is coronavirus affecting our markets right now?
A great deal, because China controls about 15 to 20% of the world trade. And that being a factor, a lot of manufacturers are shut down in China right now. And since that's a big issue, obviously, because of the trade in itself, giving a great example, Tesla can't get their vehicles there, even though they have a brand new plant there. And that production is not occurring, so it's slowing down the markets. Earnings have come in a little weak. For example, Walmart and Apple have reported in the last week that they're not meeting their earnings for the first quarter. Well, excuse me, for the last quarter. So it's really kind of surprising people. And we haven't felt the full effects of this until really the next quarter when they report the first quarterly earnings. And so it's a question. And in the same sense, we getting the true numbers from China also.
Right.
That's been a question.
So what can people do right now to protect their portfolio from all of this?
Well, it depends what age you are.
Okay.
If you are younger, in the market's down today over 200 points right now. If you're younger right now, you can take advantage of it because you're buying shares at a cheaper rate. So you don't change anything you're doing. If you're older and you're approaching retirement, you need to be a little cautious. When's the last time you've had that 401k looked at, in the sense of how much risk you had, or that IRA, the retirement account? So you want to look at those accounts and maybe look at your risk tolerance, because we've had 12 years of great run right now, and it might be a good time to look at the risk you had back then might not be the same risk you want to have right now.
Yeah. Now, Ernie, aside from that, for those who are about to retire or already retired, is there anything else that they should do right now?
Yes. They need to, like I was talking about the risk,
Right.
They need to look how much risk they're comfortable with. If they're about to retire, I always talk about for years on our show is that you don't want to have the same risk you had years ago now. In a sense, the 5 years before retirement and 5 years after retirement, you're about to make the most important decisions in your life, because the decisions you make now will affect that retirement account for the next 20 to 30 years.
And then the last question we have for you, with time limits, do people have to add to their retirement accounts, talking about taxes and
It's a great time.
Yeah.
It's a great time to do it. You have until April 15th.
Yeah.
To add to your retirement account. Generally for IRAs, 401ks, that was limited till last year. But your IRAs, Roths, your general accounts, the general public, your SEPs, KEOs, you have until April 15th of this year. Definitely contribute to them. If possible, I always suggest the Roth because it's tax-free, long term. Awesome. So you need to make those deposits prior to. A lot of times people forget about that.
Yeah. Excellent advice. Ernie, where can people find you if they have any more questions?
Oh, BurnsEstatePlanning.com.
Great. Thank you so much
Appreciate
for your time. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.